This episode, we hop into the last episode of the dungeon quest done by Jinho and Jinwoo's investigation. I know these wannabe secret society plotters got something better to deal with other than being nosy with what Jinwoo got going on. It's definitely not that serious, especially since it was only D, E, and C rank. My man Jinwoo was only trying to pay the rent, put food on the table, and secure health insurance for Mondukes. But here go Uncle Sam making things more complicated than it needs to be, like always. Whole time, if they would have just stayed and minded they business, which I definitely feel like they won't, they wouldn't have to go through everything I think is about to happen, because last time I checked, this man Jinwoo only been getting stronger by the second, and sooner or later, they gonna get too nosy and have to bring out every S rank they got to stop him from what they think he did wrong. Or they simply could find out what he's capable of and use him as a publicity stunt. What I feel like is going to happen is they're going to have him finger freak that power level scatter again and see what his new level is, and see what his new level has come to. And now he gonna go all public as an all-powerful growing hunter with an infinite level cap. What I really get to see from an optimistic perspective though is Jinwoo baby sister just trying to talk with him and be genuine and asking about the raid and things of that nature. But putting yourself in Jinwoo's shoes, he know he can't just do that or go in detail, not only for the sake of her worrying, but also for her safety, because the less she knows, the better. And I really rock with Jinwoo's sister too. She not just bratty and uptight, she chill and rock with her brother and genuine and just an overall decent character to appreciate in their entirety. I'm not mad with her at all. But then again, thinking to myself, maybe the reason Jinwoo didn't spill the beans to his sister was because he was too caught up in his own thoughts about what he had just done, what could become of it, and if the system will or would make him go that far, just how else far are they willing to take anything else. I understand he got a lot on his plate now, so it's really no shock why he wouldn't be in a comfortable headspace to talk. Fast forward though, this man Jinwoo had caught the 24 pack of beer, and the moment he realized he couldn't get drunk because the system nerfed it as a harmful substance, this man started drinking more just to see how far and true it really was. And instead of getting punished for it, which I'm not mad at all by the way, this man got a buff increase on his regenerative capabilities. This is what we call plot armor. Baby sis saw the beer and immediately started lecturing him. Whole time she don't even know he just fine and dandy, swell and well, completely sober. And I ain't gonna lie, I really have grown to respect and appreciate the man Jinwoo has grown into, because this man stood on business, immediately rejecting Jinho's proposal with the swift no. Had that abrasive side like SpongeBob. Almost had left Jinho until Jinho had got him to a point where he was able to speak and convince him. And whole time, Jinho actually got a solid plan and foundation. To me, what it looks like is Jinho wants to become a guild master and take over the company. And even though the plan is solid and Jinho is a good dude from what I see, the plan itself for the company itself really is actually bad intentions. What I got from it was their goal was to build a solo leveling hunter dream team to beat all the dungeons and claim all the bread for themselves, while everyone having to rely on them. And if you ask me, that sound kind of shady. Then on top of that, the only reason 30 billion was offered was because they know they'll make 100 times more with the goal they're pursuing, and they're smarter for that. But just like me, Jinwoo even smarter, and he declined that deal at the end of the day, still standing on business. Back to the scumbags though. We see his brother for the first time, and Buddy is not happy at all. He want all smoke, no chimney. And from the looks of it, he trying to hurt them bad before he body him. But little do he know, he don't know just who it is he messing with. Sung Jinwoo, Mr. Spin back on your block with no questions asked. Speaking of spinning blocks, we see Jinwoo getting a good run in with his baby sis. Calm look, quality bonding time, love to see it. The thing that got me though was how Jinwoo had completed his daily Saitama starter kit and still had the energy to do it all over again. And in doing so, unlocked the secret quest with the secret S rank dungeon. Mind you, this is the same Jinwoo who was fighting a spider at the same level he was already at. And I don't know, to be honest with you, if that little pew pew cursed knife gonna get the job done with that S rank boss, whoever or whatever it may be. But we never know until we watch and find out. But what's even crazier is what the message box said he could get from the dungeon: the elixir of life. And at first thought, some of you may be thinking, oh, he just wanted that for his inventory in case he needed it at a future date when him or another got injured. No, me and Jinwoo had the same first thought, and that's we finna ball out and cure Mondukes. And you know it's finna get real, because if he was already fighting this hard, imagine just how much harder he finna go knowing Mondukes' life is on the line and he gotta secure that dub against whoever going hard too. Fast forward, first look we see inside the dungeon, we see a fiery aesthetic, which I absolutely love, by the way. It reminds me of Jogo's domain expansion. Off first glance, I thought this man Jinwoo was in the underworld. Like, no way bro was finna go toe to toe against Ares or Lucifer. And bro already had his contingency plan just in case things went left. Had the teleportation stone to dip out of there effectively with the swiftness on standby. Off rip, I knew I was right about the underworld theme because this man's first battle was against a 3-headed hellhound ram in armor. It doesn't get more demonic than that. As a pet, could you realistically see that exist in real life as yours and someone else's pet? You literally be unstoppable. This is like if a Cane Corso had a mythical rare legendary Pokemon evolution. But unfazed, Jinwoo tapped into his wolf assassin perk and went to work on Buddy. Repetitive motions on him. And he started using every title and skill clip he had in the book, but it wasn't working in the slightest. This hellhound was making it look like everything Jinwoo had trained for up until this point was all for nothing. Then on top of that, the hellhound only kept getting stronger and was flinging Jinwoo around like a ragdoll play toy, like how Broly was bullying Frieza around in Dragon Ball. It was at this point where I'm waiting to see what type of plot armor finna kick in for Jinwoo, because if something didn't shake, he was gonna have to use that teleportation stone. But then it made me think again. The whole reason he doing this to begin with was for my Dukes. So he gotta tap into something to secure this dub. Even if this only the beginning, he still has yet to tap into the boss battle. But what's crazy is no matter how many full recoveries he uses, his HP still falling faster than an adrenaline rush heartbeat on a roller coaster ride. Falling like a nightmare in a bad dream when you wake up and your legs shaking and sweating in the middle of the night. This man was falling on his last limb. And just as we see this man Jinwoo about to use his teleportation stone, this man let it slip out of his hand. He fumbled the ball, he sold the shot clock buzzer beater game winning play, and immediately went into retreat mode. I mean, I would too if all cards on the table were stacked against me. No odds on my side, it's crazy. But just when everything seemed at his wit's end, this man Jinwoo pulled out an item shop. Imagine being on your last limbs and you think back to your Fortnite item shop for 300 V-Bucks to see what you can equip. So this man got to buying potions, but these were basic tier 1 potions. These are the kind of potions that are first offered to you as an incentive in the beginning of a game. Y'all know how it is, and this man Jinwoo fell right into that and wasted 300 buckaroos, 300 V-Bucks, 300 Apex coins, but clutched up remembering the time he spent with baby sis. So he bought that poison for a buff of his own, because I ain't gonna lie, against a beast who literally had the buff feels no pain is insane. At that point, you need divine destruction against that. But it was at this exact same moment where Jinwoo started going blow for blow, stab for stab against Hellhound, and his determination, grit, and willpower was so inspirational. The way he thugged it out to the end, because like I said, his whole reason for being here in the first place was to heal my Dukes, even if it was at the risk of his own life. That's the same way some of us feel. I know I feel that way. I mean, just willing to throw everything on the line for your mother. They'll never know just what it is you're willing to do for them or what it is you have done for them behind closed doors or behind the scenes. But it doesn't matter to you as long as you know my Duke's safe and good. Everything's straight regardless. And I think that's another reason Sung Jinwoo is growing on me so much, because of through what it is he willing to do, how he's willing to do it, and why he's willing to do it. It's all relatable, and it's casted in one of those imagination paths where it's like, yeah, I can see myself doing that for sure. But that aside, what's crazy is after he defeated the Hellhound, they hold my man Jinwoo, because instead of giving him a potion, they gave this man a recipe and tutorial. I mean, that would be a reasonable level up option on the table, but I guess that's too much sauce to be handing out to Jinwoo at once. He'll become OP, and he needed to be humble this way more than he know, because he doesn't have that voice in his ear telling him not to be or get cocky, arrogant, and prideful. He going solely off his own goodwill heart to continue. But I wonder if in Jinwoo's case that'll only last so long before he's corrupted by the bad company of thoughts overwhelming him with how much power he obtains. Just as I said, that Cerebrus was only the beginning. Entering a flame and Gulf capsule wrapped in chains that's standing strong and tall tall as a skyscraper is just asking for an L. I mean, show over, pack it up and go home, because Jinwoo Def wouldn't be back around for another episode. So he made a big boy play like I would have. He's about to begin his training arc so he can spin back and get what he need for that potion. Cause like I said, this is all for my dukes. So with that being said, every episode has so much more to offer the more and more I watch. And I can only hope for the best and more enjoyment as we continue this journey together. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video.